In the meantime, LifeSouth is partnering with medical centers to collect plasma from recovered coronavirus patients. Health officials will transfuse the plasma to current patients to help in their recovery. You can donate if you haven't had symptoms for 14 days or tested negative in a lab. And we want to learn a little bit more about those plasma donations now.
And we're joined now by Franchois from LifeSouth. Thanks for being on the show again this afternoon, Eric.
No, thank you guys so much for having me.
So LifeSouth's been collecting this plasma now for a few weeks. How has the response been so far?
We are still really working with our community members and our hospitals to identify those patients that are recovered from COVID and would be eligible candidates to donate that convalescent plasma that could be used to treat, those critical patients that are still, recovering from the COVID.
For those who might not know, describe the process of donating plasma.
So plasma donation is basically, we connect you to one of our apheresis machines, and what that machine does is it takes out a little bit of your blood at a time, and it takes out all of those different components, your red blood cells, your plasma, and your platelets, and we're able to separate out just your plasma and put back everything else in that session, and we're able to get just a plasma donation. And then in that single plasma donation, we're able to get up to 4 different units of plasma versus if you were to come and donate whole blood, which is the most common blood donation, where we're able to get maybe a single unit of that plasma. And the process takes about 15 to 20 minutes longer than a regular whole blood donation. So, we are still working with our donors and our hospitals to identify those patients and, really reaching out to our community members to have them come in and make those plasma donations.
Eric, have you heard any even anecdotal reports of how this is working so far?
Well, I think across the country, doctors are, starting to see, convalescent plasma has been used to treat many different diseases, throughout the years, including flu and things like that in more recent history. And, these critically ill patients that are trying to recover and recruit from COVID-19, I think they are starting to see some really positive results from those patients that are receiving that transfusion with this plasma that does have those antibodies that does really give like a big boost to their immune system to help them as they fight through and recover from COVID-19. So I think there's starting to really see some positive results, and we're hoping that we'll see the same results in the hospitals that we serve across Alabama, Georgia, and Florida.
What are the requirements to become a plasma donor?
So it's the same as most of our other blood donation. We still check for travel history, health risk, and many, a lot of different health related questions. So you still have to kind of meet all of those same criteria. But, when it comes to plasma donation, we do want to make sure that, people have really good, veins for plasma donation, because they are taking out some blood and putting some back in. So we'll kind of assess that on a donor by donor case, and really just asking those questions just to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to ensure the safety of the blood supply.
Eric, before our interview, we mentioned several blood donation drives happening here locally. That's a good thing. You still need regular whole blood donors, correct?
Yeah, so we are entering the summertime, which is always a difficult time for blood collections. A lot of our regular donors, are normally traveling, vacations start, schools are out. We do a lot of high school blood drives. This year it's kind of unique that, a lot of businesses are still closed. A lot of our schools, closed early, and our colleges are out, indefinitely until they make decisions. And so we're really looking at different options and different organizations in our community to step up and host blood drives with us over the next couple of months, because it's really going to be needed. As hospitals are opening back up and elective surgeries start back, the use for blood is going to steadily increase again. And as things are opening back up, people are going to be out more and more. So, the use had kind of started to go down, in the initial part of this COVID pandemic, but now it's starting to go back up, and we're about to reach a critical need where we're desperately going to need people to continue to come and donate. So if you haven't donated in a while, if you donated in the beginning of this pandemic, you're probably going to be eligible again. So we're really going to be looking for those community members and those organizations to help us out this summer to make sure that all of the hospitals that we serve have the blood that they need.
Eric, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great night.
You too.